By now you've probably heard that post-workout protein timing isn't what the bodybuilding community once thought it was. The idea that your workout goes to waste if you don't consume protein right after your workout or within this short anabolic window doesn't seem to be true. But in this video, I want to build a case as to why consuming post-workout protein as soon as practically possible is still a good idea. Let's start by looking at this 2013 paper by Schoenfeld and colleagues, since this paper is heavily referenced when it comes to debunking the idea of a short post-workout anabolic window. I even did a video referencing this paper back in 2016.
I just dropped their phone, B. I'm risking my phone out here for these videos. The conclusion of this meta-analysis what?
So the highlighting point of this paper is that timing of protein consumption in and around training sessions is not critical for muscle growth when enough total daily protein is consumed. But before we throw our shaker bottles out of the anabolic window, let's look at some of the limitations of this paper mentioned by the authors themselves. So the first limitation is that the vast majority of subjects used in these studies were untrained. Out of 23 studies used in a hypertrophy or muscle growth analysis, only 4 studies included trained subjects. And while other limitations were mentioned in the discussion section, the simple question I like to ask is why wait? Is there any harm in consuming protein, say within the first hour post-workout? The answer is no. Is there potentially a small benefit to consuming protein shortly after your workout? The answer is yes, because even within the same paper, they mentioned that the studies on this subject have been decidedly mixed. This is also mentioned in a 2011 paper by Phillips and Van Loon under the section titled Timing of Protein Consumption. So what they mentioned in this section, and I quote, "While there is some debate about the crucial nature of the timing of post-exercise protein consumption, a simple message may be that the earlier after exercise an athlete consumes protein, the better." Now let's look at protein timing consumption from a practical point of view. Let's assume that we're not consuming any food or protein an hour or two before a workout unless you're into projectile vomiting. And for intermediate or advanced lifters, workouts can last more than an hour and a half. And let's just say after the workout, it takes about 30 minutes to change, shower, and get home. If you do the math on that, it's already been around 4 hours. And from what we know about protein distribution to maximize muscle protein synthesis, it's better to spread out our protein intake throughout the day than to have very few large servings of protein. And this was mentioned in the practical recommendations section of a 2018 paper where they suggested spacing protein containing meals 3 to 5 hours throughout the day to maximize muscle protein synthesis. So combined with the fact that we just completed a resistance training session and the fact that we haven't eaten for several hours, then consuming protein shortly after is a good idea.